AI is transforming the go-to-market organisation in ways that will impact all of our careers. I'm Chris Clark, and I'm going to explain how things are changing, why they're changing, and what you can do to adapt. Let's start by looking at what the market is saying. Firstly, you have established vendors who have seen their value plummet in the so-called SaaSpocalypse. On the other hand, the valuations of AI native vendors are soaring, in some cases beyond $1 trillion. These market pressures impact all sorts of things, including decisions about hiring and firing. For example, we continue to see layoffs in tech, mostly by established vendors. At the same time, job postings for forward deployed engineers have increased by over 800%. So what does all this mean for go-to-market roles? Let's start with the traditional setup. You have AEs who manage the sales cycle end-to-end, SEs who ensure solution fit, typically in pre-sales, and CSMs who drive adoption, typically in post-sales. Lastly, you have RevOps who manage things like tools and processes. So what went wrong? Well, customers' experiences in post-sales often didn't match up to the vision they were sold in pre-sales. As a result, they became skeptical of demos and demanded things like pilots or limited deployments in production instead. AI tools accelerated this trend because they're highly dependent on data, meaning customers wanted to see their data in the solution before committing. Next, customers often bought more licenses than they needed. As a result, there's been a shift from per seat to consumption or even outcome-based pricing. This incentivizes vendors to get use cases up and running in production as quickly as possible. AI also accelerated this because per-person pricing just doesn't make sense for agents, whose costs scale dramatically based on LLM use. Finally, we're moving away from established tech with lots of configurable features and towards novel tech that requires more custom work and expertise that customers often lack in-house. So where do the new roles fit in? Firstly, you have forward deployed engineers. These individuals implement use cases for customers as quickly as possible and feedback their learnings to product, similar to a technical co-founder. The role was invented by Palantir and has been dubbed the hottest job in tech. They're typically post-sales, but may be involved in pre-sales too. Secondly, you have deployment strategists. Also invented by Palantir, these individuals work with FDEs to identify and prioritize use cases and to manage stakeholders and projects. Thirdly, there's a new type of role emerging at vertically focused vendors like Harvey, which sells to legal teams. Harvey hire ex-lawyers as legal engineers to do things like use case discovery, design, and demos. Last but not least, you have go-to-market engineers, a term coined by the vendor Clay. A natural evolution of RevOps, this role is all about using data and AI to automate parts of the go-to-market process, from marketing through to sales and customer success. So you're probably thinking, do these roles replace the traditional ones? Well, not quite. Looking at OpenAI, they're still hiring for account directors, SEs, and CSMs, alongside FDEs and other go-to-market roles. However, the roles are generally more technical than you would traditionally see at an established vendor like Salesforce. Those established vendors are also still hiring for these roles, just not on the scale that we've seen in the past. As they prioritize building AI into their products and portfolios, they're also creating AI specialist or overlay roles to support their other sellers. So considering all this, what are your career options? Firstly, you can stay put. If you're particularly concerned about the AI bubble bursting, this might be the option for you. Secondly, you can change role. If you want more AI experience without changing company, maybe you move into an AI specialist role. Alternatively, you can change companies. Just bear in mind that the traditional roles tend to be more technical in these AI native companies, so that might involve some reskilling. Last but not least, you might choose to change both. This is the least common option, as historically people break this move down into two parts, but it's certainly possible. For example, many commercially minded SEs might make a good fit as an AE at an AI native company. So what resources are there to help you make the decision? My podcast, Pre-Sales Pathways, showcases how and why other pre-sales professionals made these sorts of career moves. My newsletter, Pre-Sales Perspectives, includes a roundup of interesting roles as well as content focused on career development. And lastly, my coaching program is built specifically to help pre-sales professionals plan and make their next career move. You can find more information on all three at chrisjamesclark.co.uk. Thanks for listening.